The music from The Witcher's stuck with us since we first heard it, and apparently, there's a pretty solid reason for that. Most TV or film music is usually forgettable because it's just there to build tempo. That's not true for this show though. In this video, we'll talk about how we should pay attention to the instruments in the theme song for the series because they might mean more than you think. First off, it really sticks with you. The thing about the theme song for this show is that it really sticks with you. You can't forget it easily, even long after it's over. The song has some cool lyric pieces by Jaskier, but the focus isn't really on the lyrics. The real focus is on the instrumentals, and whenever it plays at the beginning of each episode, it just puts you in a mood and makes you feel excited for what's about to come. And while you're binging the show, you'll often find yourself thinking about the hauntingly beautiful theme at random times during the day. Next, the song changes with each episode. The opening song, Geralt of Rivia, composed by Sonya Belousova and Giona Ostinelli, varies to match the tone of every episode. Okay, in simple terms, the standard form is an epic synth ballad, so some episodes have a wistful vocal sound, while others feature a solemn marching rhythm. Isn't that really cool? Some episodes don't even have the intro. It simply relies on the necessities of each chapter in Geralt's story. In this way, the theme sets the tone for how we feel as we watch. It's really a creative take on the format at a time when too many shows just use a short and kind of boring intro. No, seriously, it genuinely feels like the art of theme songs is dying. For instance, to this day, people start clapping every time they listen to the iconic theme song of Friends. And which one of us didn't sing along whenever the Community intro played? So why do shows do this? It's all part of how important music is in elevating a show and how we feel about it. It's not just The Witcher though. You probably remember Teen Titans doing the same because they used different themes for their sillier episodes, so that fans wouldn't take them too seriously. And even Gravity Falls did something like this for its dark finale. Plus, the trailers for the final Hobbit movie used a clip of music from the incredible Lord of the Rings trilogy to showcase how dire and hopeless the situation was. So in short, music is very important, and if used correctly, it can literally change the way you feel about a certain episode or film. Moving forward, let's hope more and more TV shows start using this clever and innovative method, because guess what? This just makes what you're watching more powerful. Yeah, some fans may not even notice it, but trust us when we tell you that it definitely has an impact. So here's the thing, whenever something cool like this comes around, it's really important to share it and talk about the joy and beauty that music can bring. Also, there's a lot coming up in the new season for Siri. It's not just the theme song we missed though. The new season of the shows got a lot packed up for us. Andrzej Sapkowski's renowned Time of Contempt book has several moments and consequences that we can look forward to seeing in season 3. The most important, of course, the Thaned coup, which is now being filmed. But there's one more iconic moment that we know we'll witness in the midst of the upcoming season. Fabio Sachs was cast for season 3 in June, which suggested that one highly thrilling and memorable moment in Gorsvellen was gonna happen soon. When Fabio takes Siri on a tour of the town, they wind up watching a play with a basilisk. Of course, that was a wyvern, not a basilisk, but this will happen in a Ganja Montero episode, who led episodes 3 and 4 of the previous season. We know a couple more characters from this episode. Giuseppe Lentini, a Belgian-Italian actor, has been cast for the banking dwarf Molnar Giancardi. Giancardi was a friend of Yennefer's in the novels after she protected him and his family during the Vengerberg pogrom. As a result, Molnar was eternally thankful to Yennefer and would assist her whenever possible. Molnar covers Ciri's Aretuza school tuition and boosts Geralt's wages for a contract he was working on at the time in Gorsvellen, at Yennefer's request. All of this occurs when Giancardi assigns his young employee Fabio Sachs to tour Yennefer's young ward about town while the adults discuss business. Also, we recently found out that Martin Ellis would play a character named Barker in the upcoming season. Turns out, he's the charlatan in Gorsvellen, who tries to pass a wyvern off as a basilisk to his show's oblivious audience. He has no idea that among them is a young witcheress who recognizes that this isn't a basilisk. When Ciri calls him out on his deception, he becomes furious and the wyvern escapes from its prison. She, fortunately, has her blade with her and kills the wyvern. They then flee with Fabio, only to be discovered and apprehended by Desaya de Vries and Margarita Low-Antil. Finally, what can we expect from the upcoming season? Season 2 ended on an optimistic note, with Ciri, Geralt, and Yennefer finally returning. The game-changing revelation, however, comes at the conclusion when it's revealed that the White Flame is none other than Ciri's father, Dunny, alias Amervar Enrice, the Emperor of Nilfgaard. Season 3 will pick up where Season 2 left off, with the events of Sapkowski's fourth Witcher novel, Time of Contempt, leading to the disbandment of the Brotherhood of Sorcerers. Ciri and Geralt's relationship is explored as they discover more about her abilities. He's got no choice but to abandon his apolitical position on the continent excitement as several dangerous groups try to capture Ciri. There's also an actress set to play a fake version of her. Frances Pooley shared that there's a new character named Taryn, who's an original show creation and isn't really in the books. She's going to play a role comparable to Freda Allen. The intriguing tale on Nilfgaard in the books involves a name that relates to a fictitious Ciri, which we assume Pooley will play in the series. She's a student who's been indoctrinated into believing she's someone else so that she can be used as a political pawn. And here's some other related news you might have missed out on. First off, Season 3 of the series is back in business. You'll remember that Season 3's production was halted in the middle of filming the Thanedd Ball, the show's most ambitious event, after Cavill tested positive for COVID. The filming was paused according to the streamer, and it was supposed to resume as soon as it was safe to do so. The moment appears to be now, as numerous cast members announced their return to the set via Instagram stories. Actors Meshia Simpson, Cassie Clare, and Harvey Quinn all tweeted photos ranging from comments about the heat to making fun of the Netflix label on a lavatory. But it surely proves the show is back on track. Simon will play Francesca, Quinn will play an unnamed mage, and Claire will play Philippa, all of whom are major characters in the Thanedd Ball and following the coup narrative line. Sadly, there's no news on whether Geralt of Rivia is back in action. Still, it isn't really that big of an issue, since there are several sequences that might be performed throughout the events of the ball in his absence. Moving on, is Netflix's The Sandman really that good? Netflix has got a thing for adapting cool-looking stories like Umbrella Academy and a series of unfortunate events. And so is the case with Sandman. The original story for the show was a major slow burn. Over the course of a treasure quest, the first book meticulously assembles the particulars of its protagonist's dream's reality. The Netflix version, developed by Gaiman, David S. Goyer, and Alan Heinberg, embraces this pace, allowing events to unfurl with the care of a monthly comic rather than the punchiness of weekly television. It results in some extremely high highs and a few lows. Sturge portrays Dream as distant and surly at first, with his edges melting somewhat episode by episode. He's a chalk-white, gothy string bean with a giant tangle of bushy hair inspired by The Cure's Robert Smith in the comics. This 2022 version's more male model than rock god, but the actor's undeniably got character. And he comes into focus, especially when he's around bubblier characters like Death and the sorcerer detective Johanna Constantine. Finally, vinyl figure characters inspired by memes. Okay, so U2's is a Canadian collectibles company that specializes in vinyl figurines based on famous memes. And they recently developed a collection of The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt toys, including Bathtub Geralt and Roach on the Roof. We don't anticipate Funko to release Witcher Pop figurines like these anytime soon, so the U2's collection is the best option to satisfy your Witcher meme requirements. On that note, the U2's Bath Geralt figurine is also far less expensive than the popular figure published by Dark Horse a few years ago, so that definitely counts for something. That's a wrap for this video. Did you ignore the theme song when you heard it? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. We'll see you in the next one.